work it is going to.
That's one of the biggest challenges, and very glad you mentioned that in terms of being an enabler. But one of the biggest challenges we face is in the classroom, where the students, many of them are texting and all that, not listening and not thinking and not developing the skills they're going to need for life. So that's something that the faculty always talks to me about, and we need to find a way of managing that. But that's a very good point, I mean, in terms of the personal communications and the knowledge that comes from listening to people and communicating with people and writing and all the things that are necessary for the long term. Let me, one last question and we open it up. So
We
running
have 5 minutes actually from the audience questions.
What?
Well, we have to take the audience questions now because our room is going to be used in 10 minutes.
10 minutes. I mean, they're kicking us out here.
Yeah.
I'm in Biscayne College. They would never do that in the School of Business.
Well, we don't have a lecture hall in the school business.
We need it. Anyway, thanks. Yeah, let's take questions then from the audience. We got 10 minutes.
5 minutes.
Hi, my name is Jasmine. I'm a graduate student here at St. Thomas. I have a question for Mr. Suarez. For students who are accounting majors, what would you recommend for them to do to try to get their foot in? Would it be beneficial to them to get jobs at smaller accounting firms or trying to aim for bigger firms?
Both, all the above, which is you just look for all different types of opportunities. You know, I've been talking about this with Gigi in terms of like our own firm, which at one point did come out here and we don't come out here anymore. And it has nothing to do with the school, it's actually an issue with resources and where can you be. There's a lot more universities today than there were, you know, when I came out 30 plus years ago. But it goes back to what I would have said, which is never take no for an answer, right? And you know, if you go to EY online, you're going to see posted every single position we have in the country and in the Americas, and including entry-level positions. So that's one way. Another way is we're going to work through the school to look at the resumes of the kids, of you all. Sorry for calling you kids, but you know, that's another way. But you know, starting with a small firm doesn't hurt either. You know, it's getting in is what's critical.
We're starting to place students in the Big Four, and also not necessarily the Big Four, but there are many accounting firms. Jorge Mesa is here, who represents another major firm, so good to see you. This is an area of growth. Accounting is an area of growth. It's just a matter, like you said, Oscar, getting it done. Yes, who was next? Yeah, thanks.
Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. My name is Roberto Linares. I'm from Venezuela. I'm a student here at MBA. I had the opportunity to meet Mr. Suarez in Ernst & Young. I did the internship with you in the summer.
That's right. I remember now. Yes, you look very familiar.
We don't have time. I'm going to ask you two quick questions. The first question is about managing time, about networking. You have to improve your networking every time. You have to maintain your networking in order to do businesses. How do you manage your time with your family, your own work, and maintaining that networking? And the second question is more faster. If you have the opportunity to learn a third language or a fourth language, what language do you choose? Thank you.
The issue is with all your busy time, how do you network and continue expanding the business that way through networking and with your family and so forth? And then the second question has to do with language. Which language would you learn if you had an opportunity for a third language? I assume you obviously you're English and Spanish. Anybody would like to answer that?
Well, I toyed with the idea. It was, and I really just toyed with the idea of studying Mandarin until they told me that was a word. And then I said, forget it. I swear to God. It's a word. I forget now what word it is. I should remember what it was. It's a word. So I don't know. However, I think that the proliferation of technology and these precisely the phones that Carlos was talking about, all this kind of thing, I think, to the gentleman's question, I think it makes communicating much easier. And let me tell you, I'm old guard. I'm old guard until my kids beat me up and got me an iPhone. And now, I'm addicted to the iPhone. Because you can do everything, like literally, just about, with that little gadget, with a smartphone these days. So I think that's cut down a lot on what used to be, you know, time taken away from, in order to network face to face. We do have this problem that, you know, it's getting to be less and less of a face-to-face world. But I think technology will help in that regard. And as these products proliferate, as things, particularly in terms of networking, which is your question, I think it becomes much, then you have the tweets, you have this, you have that, and you have all these things that I don't know about. So, but I think it has certainly helped in that regard from what I recall, you know, 20 years ago, where it was really just, for lack of a better word, huffing it, you know, hitting the streets.
Just go ahead. Yeah.
Hello, so I'm actually alumni. I'm a casting director from New York. I'm in town and I happened to get the invite and I'm so glad that I came. I went to your megathon, which was really great, and I saw how you did the fusion. I thought it was really creative and great way to kind of adapt. One thing that I've been doing is I've been casting shows for years for MTV3, the Latin American channel that MTV has, and now what's happening is I'm getting a lot of calls from ABC, from a lot of the English networks, because they're putting shows like Washington Heights on the English network channels. I feel great because I'm getting the calls from, but I feel a little bit like I'm being a traitor in a way, because I don't know what's happening now with the trend. My market, which is me, Americans born here, who listen to salsa because mom played it in the house, but also love to hear what's on the radio and can adapt to Lil Wayne and 2 Chainz and hear Zen at the Miami Heat game when I'm in town. So we're like a really mixed audience that I've kind of grown to kind of understand, which is that Washington Heights audience now on MTV. What's happening now with the market? How do you feel that shift, that change? Because now you have ABC joining with Univision and all this stuff going on, and now we're kind of, I guess, is that their way of trying to get that little piece from AT&T that you don't want to go away because it's going to shift regardless? So my question is, how do you see that trend happening with the changes, and how can, what can you tell me to?
Yeah, I think that's a very real and a very attractive sector for anyone in corporate America now looking at, I mean, you're specifically referring to the Hispanic American
Yes.
segment of the population. Listen, it's a matter of numbers, no? It's a matter of fact. The Hispanic Americans now are a trillion in buying power, if I'm not mistaken. We're the largest minority group in the United States now, officially, 50 million plus. And of course, corporate America very much wants that. And you're perfect, because your story's perfect, because corporate America is very interested in you, because you have that ability to go back and forth or live in kind of what they call the 2 worlds, no? The 2 worlds, the bilingual, if you want to call it that, or bicultural, or however you want to say it, world. So you and people like you are very much in demand. Where do I think from an entertainment point of view, if that was your question, the beautiful thing about media is that you can adapt media. As a matter of fact, media done right is a reflection of the marketplace. So that if I have a station, like the young lady said, that is, or was, salsa, largely salsa that her mom listened to, or maybe she likes it a little bit too, but Raul, I like a lot of other things too. Okay, media can adapt to that. Some media adapt to it easier than others, but mass media can adapt to that type. It has to be a reflection of the marketplace in order to make the claim that you are entertaining a section of the like an important section of the Hispanic American. So I think that's very good news. I think it's very good news for people like yourself that are conversant and obviously bilingual and obviously understand both cultures, both music, both tastes, and you can identify with your mom, but you can identify with yourself as being a little bit different. That's what I think corporate America is absolutely looking for. And I think you're strategically positioned as a casting director or whatever it is that you wanted to do with your career to take advantage of that.
Thank you. Carlos, you have,
Me?
yeah, hi.
Hi, I'm Alina Phillip. What are some personal skills that students or are looking to get employed would need?
Well, let me take a
Skills
stab.
for, you mean in terms of the corporate world?
In the corporate world?
Yeah, okay.
I think that, you know, I've been touched a little bit. Communication skills, you know. I mean, everybody here is bright. You're getting a college degree. You know your technical stuff, whatever it is that you're majoring in. I mean, there's no question about it, right? But you work in teams. Somebody said it, right? I mean, you work in teams. You interact with people. So they always ask me. You know, I talk to my employees are 25, right? You see in the stores. They always, what do I need to do to make a career? I talk about 5 things, right? First one is do your job. Table stakes. Second one, do everything with integrity and honesty. Nobody wants to be around crooks, right? Third one, you need to be a team player. Fourth one is your communication, your education, further education. And the third one is being able to communicate with people, to be an effective communicator, to sell yourself. Every person you meet is a job interview. Every interaction you have with someone is a job interview. So you really need to have that communication skill plus all the other ones, right? Being responsible, honest, whatever, but sell yourself. I mean, you're your own brand. You're always being interviewed, even when you think you're with your girlfriend or boyfriend or significant other in a restaurant. You don't know who's around you. So always, always.
I'll add something very quick to that. I'm a dinosaur, so I'm not on Facebook, LinkedIn, I don't tweet, etc. But I get 400 emails a day. So, and I can only imagine if I was any one of those, I'd be bizarre. So, I think time management is critical, and particularly now in the age of technology. So, and going to the question the fellow that interned at NY asked, it's super critical to set priorities. What is the important thing that I gotta get done today? And make, set the important things, make sure you respond to the important emails, make the important calls, etc. Eventually gonna get to much less important ones. But if not, we're gonna drown in emails and tweets and all that kind of stuff, so. I think he's got a good question.
Carlos, I think this is the last one, right? 'Cause we have to
This one's quick. It's for Carlos, actually. My name is Carlos as well. I work in OIT for the university. Nice name. So you mentioned the 60-year-old infrastructure that's in place already, right? But this is the infrastructure that's delivering UVerse and most of the new products that's coming out to the homes. And it can barely handle UVerse. So is the plan to just let that die in place and move to the handsets?
It's going to be replaced. I mean, we announced it. By 2020, everything's going to be IP-based, fiber optics.
So you were also talking about not just back-end infrastructure, but also actual cable?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Or wireless,
Or wireless, right?
right? What do you need?
Right, so, but will it?
It's a whole change in the infrastructure that AT&T has spent 100 years.
Mostly
building.
mostly wireless, or are you
It's
gonna
going to
stick
be wireless, a wireless umbrella, but then you need high-speed connections between the towers and all the nuclear equipment. All that's going to be high-speed fiber optics going to a lot. We announced we're going to go to 1 million new buildings with fiber in the United States in the next few years. So that's the kind of investment that's being made.
1 million what?
New buildings.
Buildings.
Wow.
Facilities.
You can see we're gonna be technology, we are, of course, technology driven, so whatever you're
But
doing
remember,
in the
that-
school
that's
of
an enabler.
business, that is it.
Yeah, that's just the enabler. What
Yeah.
you're going to do with it in your jobs and your lives, that's up to you.
It's up to you. Well, thank you very much. This has been outstanding.